In early January this year, I was invited to deliver a project management course to graduating students of a leading engineering college in India. Before getting into the current topic, allow me to provide some context. Very early in my career, I took up teaching to improve my chances for a scholarship, should I get a chance to study overseas. But little did I know that teaching would become my passion, and that I would discover many interesting aspects while pursuing this passion in later years, especially when I was to pursue a career in industry and not academia. Over the past decade, while serving the industry, I was associated with a strategic initiative called the Industry Academic Interface Program. I was responsible for delivering over 50 faculty development programs FDP. That covered a large number of institutions across India, mostly engineering colleges and a few management institutes. This was so much more, connecting me closer to academia and resulting in my being on the board of studies for several institutions and universities, or member of the Internal Quality Assurance Cell or Departmental Advisory Board, which provided me a much-needed insight of the academic world. As a result, the opportunity to be a visiting faculty member was more than simply a chance to experiment with concepts that I used to prescribe during FDPs. In this post, I wanted to discuss how I taught the course for one semester. The subject was divided into 6 modules in the curriculum, with specific goals to achieve: A. To introduce students to project management concepts, tools, and processes, as well as the use of a predetermined methodology or approach for each unique project handled. And B. To educate the students on the many stages from project initiation to closure and to acquaint them with the project management life cycle. Following an initial evaluation, I opted to teach the course using a methodology that blends a game-based approach with principles from my book, IT Through Experiential Learning, and Flipped Classroom Style. I designed the course delivery using 5 components. 1. Pre-class preparation. 2. Flipped class model. 3. Using a game-based approach. 4. Experiential learning EL process. And 5. Evaluation using EL components. Let me summarize how I deployed these elements. Pre-class preparation. Prior to the start of the module, students were encouraged to obtain information and learning materials from the Project Management Institute, as well as numerous other websites provided by the Government of India, such as the Swayamprabha or the NPTEL portal. Students were required to read up on project management concepts, understand them, and be prepared for class. Flipped classroom. The classroom was regulated throughout the semester such that each student read, prepared, and presented a module. As a teacher, I facilitated students prepare and deliver their presentations, and I purposefully provoked discussions on critical concepts. As a consequence, all students will be able to participate in more immersive and engaging learning activities. Game-based approach. 3 games were played by students. The first contained 2 groups of 2 students each, the second 4, and the third 5. Students experienced the influence of leadership, communication, and diversity on the project's outcome. Experiential learning. Following the games, there was analysis and discussion which compelled reflection on the experience. Students were given assignment to provide their own analysis, as well as insights and lessons learned from the game. Assessment. Students' performance in the game and their interpretation of how it relates to the factors that affect a project's success were evaluated. This methodology assisted in giving students a thorough knowledge of project management principles as well as the soft skills necessary to handle real-world projects by combining a game-based approach, flipped classes, and ideas from the book IT through experiential learning. Following the student feedback and examination, I was satisfied to see that the objectives had been accomplished, together with the following results. 1. The student could employ selection criteria to select the right project from an array of options. 2. Learners could develop a work breakdown structure for a project and then create a task list based on it. 3. Student could determine the project's potential and risks and devise a strategy to address each one. 4. Learner could use the earned value technique, could identify and anticipate the project's state. And 5. Students can now take note on a project-related lessons learnt and retain them for future reference. Through this update, I wanted to share the methodology I devised and deployed for the course delivery, as well as invite suggestions and feedback from others for making teaching and learning experience more enjoyable and productive.